Perfect. And by the way, I think everyone knows me, but I'm on Andrea's account, the team call chat, but I'm Allie. So whoever I haven't met, I'm Allie, not Andrea. And Samantha Moore is going to be helping me tonight. And Brianna Bodkins is also going to hop in and share a few little tips. So what I first want to start with is if you guys are here and you're looking for like a secret sauce or a, solve all your problems formula, we don't have that. But what I can tell you is the more you take it upon yourself to be resourceful, sorry, there's like a bunch of people coming in, the more you are going to grow, the more you're going to learn, and the more confident you're going to feel. Because I've been here for 3 years, and yes, I happen to have 9 years of health experience behind me, but that does not make me more apt than you to succeed in this business, okay? So remember that. You can't compare yourself to anyone, but you can do something about the way you feel if you aren't confident in the areas. So first of all, I want everyone to write down, if you're taking notes, where can I find resources, okay? Tons of resources. And sometimes I think from my girls, they're like, I don't know where to go. There's so many pages. I'm getting tagged in a bunch of stuff. There's too many products. So they just freak out or freeze, and then they just don't feel confident, right? So if you guys feel that way, we're going to give you some tips on the most, common products, but you do not have to know everything about products. You do not have to know the ingredients on all the bottles. Like, you legitimately just have to know the 3 pillars of Plexus is blood sugar balance and hormone control, inflammation control, and gut health. Okay. If you address those 3 issues, no matter what your health goal is, you're going to be healthier. So if you want to know, like, okay, how do I talk to someone about Plexus? You know the 3 pillars, and that's what I just said. Okay. Next, we have tons of resources in Rise Up Village. We are trying to streamline everything into the guides section. So if you go to the top of the team page, drop a 1 in the comments if you have no idea what I'm talking about when I say guides. And it's okay if you don't, but I just created a brand new guide called the Plexus Product Portal. Okay, so this has tons of videos, probably like 25 of them. If you sat down and tried to watch all of them in one day, you would get nowhere. So make it a plan if you want to feel more confident in what you're talking about, to watch a couple videos a day. Pick one product and search for it. Go to YouTube, type in Plexus Ease. There's going to be tons of resources, and just watch 2 videos and you're going to learn 3 things to know about ease. And that's what we're going to also touch on. And you're going to feel more confident. So do that, space it out for the next 10 days, literally put a product on your to-do list. And that is a great way to build that knowledge that you have and feel more confident. There's also, like I said, guides on detox, guides on product adjustments, which Samantha's going to help out with as far as a couple tips there. So again, go to Rise Up Village if you ever have a question. Everything's pretty well categorized, and that is where you're going to learn to be more confident and be resourceful. One last tip is to go to the help desk. If you've never been there, it's huge. I still go there 3 years later. That's from the main Plexus website. Scroll down to the bottom, little tiny button says help desk. Okay. I want you guys to write down these 3 things, and I want everyone to go find them, and you want to print them out or screenshot them. I still reference them today because, again, you can't know everything, but you can know how to answer questions when they come about. The first one I want you guys to print off is called the product attribute sheet. If you don't know how to spell, I'm going to spell it for you. ATTRIBUTE. It's going to have all the products in columns, and it's going to have the most common allergens like gluten, peanut, dairy, soy, egg, tree nut, wheat. If that product contains that, it's going to tell you. So it's a quick reference. If you've got someone that has a million allergies, that's like you're terrified to even talk to them. Most Plexus products are all gluten-free, but there is a couple that contain dairy and soy. And just for your guys' reference, Vital Biome does contain those 2 allergens. So that is a good reference to have if you have someone that's very sensitive. Also, type in the product price list. It's a compact list of every product Plexus has with preferred, retail, wholesale. I don't know those numbers off the top of my head 3 years later, so don't feel like you should either, but you've got to know how to find pricing, because I'm sure that all of you guys here are thinking, I lose everyone at pricing. This is just not for me. Okay. You have to be confident and you have to know that what you're giving someone is worth the money. Okay. It's worth the investment. If you're iffy and you're still worried that someone's going to tell you no because you're asking them for a $129 investment, they're going to sense that and they're going to fly out of the cart. Okay. But if you're confident and you're telling them, this is what I recommend, and this is why this is going to help you, this is an amazing deal, are you ready? Like, notice that that is going to portray confidently that you know that they're going to see success with these, right? So product price list, product attribute sheet, and a couple people asked me about the type in perfect pairings, PAIRINGS. This tells you when they sign up with this welcome pack, this is the subscription that's going to auto set. You guys should always be in the habit of checking the subscription right after you sign someone up. Okay. That's step one at helping our friends succeed. You know, we can sign up people all day, but until they get a result, until they fall in love, our job isn't done. So we have to make sure that we're setting them up for success from the beginning. And that means if they're getting the variety pack, that you're putting in their cart what you told them was going to be their core products, that you're adjusting their triplex order from the 60 count cleanse that comes in the welcome pack to the 120. That's $5 difference, so that they have the amount of product that they need to get their gut healthy, right? So, okay. So those three things, print them off. It's a great resource. I have mine in a binder. I still reference them, and you never have to know everything, but those are great things to have. Okay. And then lastly, get organized. So put your stuff somewhere where you know where to find it, so your stuff's not all over, so you don't have 49 sticky notes. And what I have used for the most common packs that I'm recommending a lot, which we're going to touch on, is an index card. So you always want to give them, hey, if you just feel like you're not in and you want to try it, like you're going to pay retail and that's this cost. If you want to give it 60 days, you're going to get preferred customer at 15% off. But if you're ready to see change and you want to save the most money, you're going to be eligible for wholesale, and that's going to cost you this. Notice how you're confident, and you're not going to offer someone wholesale pricing if they are wishy-washy. Okay. We don't care about a $20 welcome pack bonus if they're going to fall off in 30 days. So all of you guys here, I recognize most of your names, but some I don't. So whether you're here for a month, 5 months, 5 years, you guys are going to learn so much. So you have to know that you showing up on this call is huge, and you're willing to learn, and that means you're going to grow. So we're going to move right on to what in the heck? I have a friend with me. What am I supposed to do with them? Right? So you have to ask good questions. Okay. Before you get someone started, you have to know what their digestion is like. You have to know if they drink coffee or not. Like, you're not going to tell them to drink their pink drink at 8 a.m. on the way to work if they have looked forward to that coffee for the last 5 years, right? So what's your digestion like? How do you start your day right now? Are you a night shift nurse? I have a million of night shift nurses. Like, that's going to look completely different than me, who starts who works 8 to 5. And introduce that person to your sponsor right away. I don't care if you've been here for 2 years or 2 months. Connect that person with your friend that got you started, and don't call them your sponsor. Okay. That's weird and salesy. We're all friends. Like, this is my friend Heather. She got me started. She's a wealth of knowledge. I just wanted you to know her because we're so glad that you're here. That's literally all you have to say. Because you guys, the more connections we can make from day one, the more impact we're going to have on people, the more they're going to feel loved, and they're going to feel more comfortable coming to us with questions. And that, I feel like, is where the missing piece is. We're signing all these people up. We're getting so excited. We're ranking up. We're getting all these people into Plexus, and we're just like missing gaps. Okay. So I just want you guys to remember that your friend trusted you. Okay. And you are the expert, whether you feel like it or not. And if you're still like, okay, I'm here because I want to learn how to feel confident recommending packs, You just have to go for it. You're going to mess up. You might put someone on the wrong pack, but guess what? We can always change it. But if you put your friend who got you started or your sponsor in a chat with you until you feel confident, you're going to see them, you know, maybe the way they do it is different than the way you've been doing it. So you can just pick up one thing and take it with you, and it can really make a huge difference in your, you know, how things are going. So tips for recommending. Like, what in the heck? I got this person, they're interested. I'm freezing. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. Word vomiting all over. Has anyone ever felt like that? Put one in the comments if you have. All right. So the updated exposure process. If you don't know what it is, now's your time to find it. Okay. Again, it's in the files in Rise Up Village. That should be printed off. I still have it in the front of my binder. Of course, I can't find it to actually show you, but you guys, I remember the day that I was on maternity leave, my points were at 95. Okay. I was sitting in my recliner and I was doing my first, what's it called? The consistency club. Okay. And I was like, I'm getting good at this stuff. I'm not going to sit there and my messages aren't going to be taking 5 days to close the deal. I'm getting good at this. So Andrea, we have a wonderful leader. You can tweak it to fit you, but follow the process. Okay. Share, send, invite. So you're gonna connect with your friend. You're gonna say, can I share a simple message with you? Or sorry, can I share a simple video with you? It explains a little bit about gut health. Or if they come to you and they say, oh my God, this is my friend so-and-so. She's struggling with weight loss and, you know, wanting to lose weight. She can't get off Diet Coke and she's like, can't poop for anything. Okay. So this is a recipe. Okay. Not all recipes you follow step by step by step by step. You have to just remember that sometimes we might not share that video, but guess what? There's a perfect time to send a testimony, and that's going to guide the conversation. And if someone says, I want energy weight loss, you better be asking more questions. Okay. Simply because yes, that's probably what 90% of women are going to want, right? I need more energy and I need to lose these 10 pounds of pregnancy weight, right? But you have to know, what are there any other goals? Do you have any autoimmune diseases or thyroid issues? Can I ask what your pooping patterns are like? I know that's personal, but that helps me know what pack is best for you. If you want weight loss, would you utilize a shake, or are you kind of nah about shakes? Like, if someone is wanting weight loss, they're either going to like a shake and they're going to utilize it, or they're going to say, no way, I'd rather just eat my food and find something that helps with my metabolism, right? But if, you know, are they bloated? That's important to know. But if someone wants weight loss, you guys, and if that's their main goal, and you've asked these questions and they're still like, yeah, I just need to lose weight, I'm good, do not put them on the triplex. Okay. We know, we've been here a while. We know that the triplex will help them because it's going to balance their body. But guess what? It's going to take about 90 days for them to get through detox, to get rid of that water weight that they might hold on to. They might feel worse, and they might actually see that number go up, and they're going to freak out and tell you plexus is awful, and they're not going to stick with us. So Sam's going to talk here in just a few about the triplex, what it's good for, and how to modify it and how to adjust it. But I also want you guys to write on in big letters, the Fab Four. Okay. I'm gonna get to that here in just a minute. So you've learned about their goals. You've shared a video. You've maybe shared a testimony. You know what their few things are. And now you're like, oh my God, I'm sweating bullets. How do I know what to tell this person? Step one, you're the expert. So give them one option. Okay. Don't send 2 or 3 and say, which one sounds best? Because they're going to be like, I don't know. I came to you to tell me what to take. Right. So go big or go home. I want you guys to remember this. It doesn't mean we're just trying to upsell people and make more money and get all these products in people's houses and just like whatever. We want to give them the more products at the beginning because that's going to help them get to their goals. The 209 packs are, it's like $350 value, and they get it for literally nothing. But if you are timid and you're scared of telling someone it's going to be $189, because you guys, we still have a 10% off coupon, and you're just saying, well, I got a $99 pack. You ready? we want you to get out of that groove, okay? And here's the reason. You want to give them the most for their money, the biggest discount. You want to get them to their result the quickest, and giving them more products to fall in love with is going to help them get there, okay? They get an extended warrant. I had some notes. You're going to go buy a car. You're absolutely going to give the extended warranty. You're absolutely going to pay more for your hair color because you want it to last longer, right? Yes. You are going to set them up for success from the beginning, and you're going to confidently tell them, this is what I think you should start with. It's going to address all those goals that you just told me. And I am so excited to help you. How does that sound? Right? And if they're like, well, I don't know, like 189 was kind of a lot more than I wanted to spend. Guess what? You're going to say, oh, girl, it's totally okay. I actually think that maybe this is a good place to start. I'll answer your question with you. And you can always downsize to a Fab 4, but you can't always start on the triplex and expect them to see XYZ in 3 months and add product later. It's so much easier to start with it, get them and fall in love with it, and we can always customize smaller. Okay. So are you confident that what you're telling or what you're are you confident in that what you're telling, or are you downsizing because you're scared of the sticker and you're scared that your friend's going to run the other way when you tell them the cost? It's $5 a day, you guys. You have to believe in what you're offering, and you have to truly know, again, that I know that you guys all want to be here. I know that you guys want to help your friends. I know that you believe in these because they've helped you, but that is a hard thing. And the more you talk about it and the more you go big and go big or go home and be bold, you're going to feel more confident in it. And people are going to catch that, and they're going to, follow your lead. And again, we can always downsize. So the three most, I would say two of the larger packs that we want to talk about are the Variety Pack and the Gut Health Advanced Pack. There's, of course, a lot more, and I hope you guys all have the combos saved, the graphics saved in a folder. My personal tip, I don't know if you guys feel this way, is I use the ones that do not have the price on them. The newer ones have the 209 and the 109, but I send the one without the price first. And then after I say, this is what I recommend, this is going to be so great for boom, boom, boom. What do you think? And they're going to say, I love it. How much is it? And then you're going to come to them and you're going to tell them the pricing. Okay. If you guys want me to practice, I don't know if that would help you, but that's either way is totally fine. I just think, explaining the value to them, showing them what the bundle is. And then if they say, yeah, what do you think? Then that is going to be something that would come after that. So Variety Pack, the reason that's really helpful is they're getting the gut health system, and they're also getting the weight management products, and they're getting the ease and the X Factor. Do you guys realize that the Variety Pack, we can't even get it on month 2. So I sell this one a ton because whether someone is, going to start all 7 things, which I always ask on that initial call, and I hope you guys are getting on the phone call to go over, taking 20 minutes when they get their box to go through everything with them is huge. If you're just setting a graphic and saying, I'll talk to you in 3 days, that is overwhelming. Okay. So if you haven't done it yet, that's okay. You can still do it. Call your people that you just got started and get on the phone, because if someone is overwhelmed by taking 4 things versus 7 things, you just have to feel out your person. And there's no cookie cutter way to start someone, but just know that the graphics are pretty, but they can't do all the work for us. So, and then Brianna, is she on here? She's not on here yet. That's okay. And then the Gut Health Advanced. So real quick, that one's great for obviously gut health. They get the Vital Biome, which helps with mood and also increasing that gut bacteria. They get 2 bags of Slim. So this is great for someone who wants weight loss, because you can start them on 2 Slims a day. And whenever Brianna gets on here, she's going to kind of touch on this because she's really finding good success with it. Meaning they're going to get to start their day with microbiome Slim, and then they're going to get to, midday, they're going to do another hunger control. So they're going to get that gut health benefit, the blood sugar stabilization, and then they can customize that second month, whichever slim they like if they're not continuing to do two. But the 2 slims a day is going to kickstart that weight management that they have. And again, with the larger packs, if someone wants energy weight loss and has pooping issues, you're going to know, are you someone that would like the lean or not? And that'll direct you as to what large pack to recommend. And then from the large packs, we're going to kind of, if you're at that point and that person's like, well, they weren't, they don't want a big pack. They really want to do it the most cost effective way that they can. And they just they want to invest and they're going to stick with it for a few months, but they just can't afford or do the big pack up front. Think Fab 4. Okay. So triplex, I used to always default to the triplex before we had all these new packs to come out with. But the other two I really want to draw attention to is the Slim X Factor Vital Biome and the Slim Active Ease. Okay. And then notice I said Feb 4. So we're going to add something to all of those, and I'm going to tell you why. So Sam's going to touch on triplex last, but that is, if someone cannot poop, if they have constipation, they absolutely need the BioCleanse. If someone has IBS with diarrhea, do not put them on the triplex because they are going to be miserable. Okay. And no matter if we start with one cleanse every day, they're going to be sensitive to it. So with IBS with diarrhea, sorry, I hate saying that word, we want to focus on helping absorption and helping with calming down the irritability going on in there. We can always introduce BioCleanse later if they start to go the opposite way, but if they start out with going a lot, do not start them on the triplex. So the Slim X Factor Vital Biome is really good for people that have irritability because it gives them the X Factor Plus, which is the multivitamin that helps with absorption because it has aloe in it. It gives them lots of nutrients. Oftentimes people that go to the restroom a lot don't have, they're deficient in things because they're going so much. And it really helps to heal that gut bacteria with the aloe. And then the Vital Biome is, I'll go ahead and talk about the two things. So Vital Biome is a high strain probiotic that gets the good bacteria in there faster. The reason that one is good is because it's, again, going to calm down the irritability at a higher count. And it helps, again, with mood. So that's one thing to know about Vital Biome. It's higher strain than the ProBio 5, but the ProBio 5 has digestive enzymes and antifungals. So I say it's a 3-in-1 ninja. Okay. So for the irritability, if it's just gut health related, start them there. I would add on ease if they're irritable and don't have bloating. If they have bloating, they need ProBio 5 on top of it. Okay. So ProBio 5, the reason it helps with bloating is because of the digestive enzymes that help scrub the gut of bad stuff, the yeast that's in there that causes bloating. So if we give ourselves probiotics and that's why when someone says, okay, I already take a probiotic off Amazon, I don't need yours. You're going to say, girl, let me just tell you a little bit. Can I see if your probiotic has antifungals or digestive enzymes? There's none of them on Amazon that can, but really it's just, opening that conversation and saying, can you send me a picture? I would love to take a look at the one you're taking. Or, are you still experiencing that bloating when you're taking that probiotic? Would you be open to switching and maybe trying one that has really helped me with bloating? Notice how I'm not discrediting, what they're telling me. But if people want the benefits of Plexus, we have to teach them why they need a system. Don't expect the pink drink to solve all your issues when you can't poop, you're bloated, you're hormonal, and all the things. So the difference between the two probiotics, you can take both probiotics together, but if someone has bloating, they need the ProBio 5. If someone has anxiety and mood fluctuations a lot, or even on the down depression side, they can benefit from Vital Biome in the mornings because it helps with the happy feeling. And then the second one I wanted to talk about is the Slim Active Ease. So that's a really good one for I want energy. I need a little bit of, I want to lose weight. That is a good one. But just remember the ease. If they have pain, they need a higher dose of ease. And at the very end, I just don't want this to run like too long. Ease helps, it's a natural anti inflammatory. So some people think, well, I don't have pain. I don't need an anti inflammatory. Cellular inflammation is the root of a lot of issues. That's everything from bloating to allergies to pain to, um, puffiness to just fluff. Ease is great for weight loss too. So Slim Active Ease, and I would, if they want energy, I'd add Metaburn. If they, are sensitive to caffeine and they're already getting the active, I would add Balance. But the reason I say let's pick a Fab 4 is because guess what? If they get that Slim Active Ease and they hate the, they don't like the Ease because they think it tastes like fish, which it doesn't, or, say they don't order active, they're going to drop below 100 PV. But if you get them on 4 at the beginning, they're always going to have that one for cushion. And it's a lot easier to work with them then and keep them at 100 and adjust their things than to fall to 95 PV and try to get them back to 100. Okay. So now Sam is going to talk about the good old triplex because she's been a rock star at helping a lot of her new ambassadors and her leaders to adjust and tweak and find the happy place with the triplex. And I also want to shout her out because she was vulnerable, but she did so good at going to her friends that were IBS with diarrhea. And she said, you guys, I'm really sorry. I put you on the triplex and I really found that a different system works better for your goals. So can we switch that? And they, 2 of them this month switched to the Slim X Factor Vital Biome to combat that. And so she was so brave to do that and not just say like, oh, well, there she goes. She's stopping because of my issue, my fault. So it's never too late to learn. You don't have to know everything, but those are definite tips to remember, like what are their bathroom patterns like and what are their goals before you just stick them on triplex. So take it away, Sam.
Yeah. I've been here almost a year and I've saved 3 people in the last couple of months by switching them off of triplex onto better options for IBS frequency issues. So definitely something that I'm still learning, but getting better at as well. So I'm sure most of you were like me before recently, but I recommended triplex for everybody. And it's really not a one size fits all with all of Plex's products, but especially triplex. You really need to, like Allie's kind of touched base on, you really need to dig in and ask the questions. I always start out when I start talking to people. I mean, I'm a nurse, so talking about poop is no big deal for me, but I know not everybody feels that way. And so I always start out with there's no such thing as TMI when it comes to plexus. I'm going to dig in, I'm going to ask these questions. And if they think that I'm being awkward about it, they're going to be awkward about it too. But if you just come at them like that, like this is going to help me direct you in the best, way to the products that are going to help you reach, the goals that you want to hit, they're going to be open and they're going to, answer those questions. You got to break it down and just dig in and ask those questions. So, like Allie said, there's IBS with constipation and IBS with frequency. So, what I've learned recently is when they say they have frequency issues, first you want to dig in again and ask those questions like, what does that mean? Because what it means to one person may not be the same for somebody else. So, you really need to ask. Does frequency mean that they go once a day, or does it mean like they're in the bathroom multiple times a day? With true diarrhea. And if they say they have constipation, again, does that mean you go once a week, or do they feel like they're just bloated because they only go once every other day? If someone says constipation, I go straight for triplex because they need the BioCleanse, they need the ProBio 5. But again, like Ali said, you steer away from that if they're talking about irritability and frequency issues. There's better options out there. And then I'm kind of just going to break it down by the products within triplex and just kind of share a few tips for each one. So with Slim, so one thing that you always want to ask too, and this is across the board when you're talking to someone about plexus, is what medications are you on? And things that kind of trigger for me, do they say thyroid medications? Do they say blood pressure medications? And do they say antidepressants? Those are all trigger words for me, and I'll kind of break that down. So with Slim, if they say thyroid, that they're on any kind of thyroid medication, they can drink Slim, but you want to make sure that they're spacing it for 2 hours from their thyroid medication to when they're drinking their Slim. And that's because of the chromium in Slim. It has it can interact with the chromium and their thyroid medication. So you always want to make sure that they're spacing that out. And even as they're getting used to taking their products, you want to reiterate that with them, especially if they start saying like they're having some issues and stuff. Just make sure you're asking again, like, are you spacing it out, or what's your schedule look like? With the Slim, so we've got our two types. We have our microbiome and our hunger control. And so things that they both do. So they both support your blood sugar control, and they both have prebiotics for gut health. So if someone's looking for gut health, um, they're both good options. The next thing I go to is, what flavors do you like? So we have our watermelon, which is our microbiome. And then we've got like a cherry limeade is what I explain, our hunger control. If they're like me, watermelon is not their taste. And so obviously you're going to want to steer them away from that one. If they're looking for weight loss, again, I start with the flavor, but if they really don't have a preference of flavor, then I'm going to steer them towards the hunger control. And that's because it's got the fiber in it. And so that's going to help them feel fuller, quicker, and longer. And with that, you're going to recommend them drinking it 30 to 60 minutes before their meal. Obviously, that doesn't always work out. And I always tell them, you don't have to drink it at the same time every day. It's flexible, you fit it into your schedule. But if you can drink it before a meal, it's just going to help you feel fuller, faster, longer, and it's going to help you have better results. And then the other thing that with the hunger control and the fiber. So if you have someone that's been on it for a few days and they're complaining about, irritability, they're starting to go to the bathroom too frequently, obviously that can be the bio cleanse. But another thing that you want to ask questions about is, when are they drinking their Slim in relationship to their bio cleanse? Because that fiber on top of the bio cleanse can kind of trigger them to start going to the bathroom a little bit more too. And so that's just an adjustment that you can make for them, is just tell them maybe they just need to space it out a little bit, give it a couple more days and see how they're doing. I don't get this a lot because I think the Slim is delicious and most people do, but every once in a while you'll come across somebody who doesn't like the taste. And again, obviously we've got the other option. If they don't like the watermelon, they can always switch over to the cherry limeade or vice versa. But a couple other tips that I always offer to them is to dilute it more with water, just if it's too sweet for them. They can always add like a lemon or lime to it to give it a little bit different of a taste. If they actually are ordering active, mixing the two together, I think is awesome. So you can always give that as a tip for them. And then the other thing, especially because you want to drink your Slim, and I've run into this a little bit lately, where some people want to drink it all day long, like sip on it, but because of the prebiotics in it and the fiber, you really want to drink it within 45 minutes to an hour of mixing it. And so if someone's having difficulty with that, another option I offer them is to split the packet. So mix half of it in the morning, drink it, and then mix the other half in the afternoon and finish it, so that they get the full stick throughout the day. Let's see. So BioCleanse. So when they order their triplex the first month, they're automatically going to get the 60 capsule bottle. And so right away, that should be something that you should write down, is that you want to keep tabs of how many that they're taking, obviously. And then you're going to want to make sure that they do not run out of their BioCleanse month 2. So you may need to move their subscription up a few days, and you want to make sure that you're adjusting their subscription to the 120 count BioCleanse for month 2, so that they don't run out, because most people end up on 3 to 4 BioCleanse a day. And if it's someone with severe constipation, they may end up on 6 BioCleanse for a few days till they really start going, and then you can back them down. So you definitely want to be keeping an eye on that. Because they're starting with just the 60 capsules now, I start them super slow with just one a day for a few days, just to kind of help that bottle last a little longer. So you're not ordering hopefully twice in the same month. And then again, I kind of touched base on this and so did Allie, but asking those bathroom questions. So this is something, you're going to ask when you first get them started, and you're going to ask them repeatedly. What's their, how frequently are they going? And if someone's just saying like, oh, I'm going like every other day, or I'm just going, I'm going fine, that's not good enough. You got to dig deeper. You got to ask, like, are you going every day, 1 to 2 times a day? Our goal is 2 to 3 times a day. And obviously, everyone's different. If it's someone who's been constipated for years, they're not going to suddenly start going 2 or 3 times a day. But if you get them going once a day when they used to go every 3 or 4 days, that's huge. Celebrate that, first of all, because they're probably feeling so much better as well. But don't feel like the products aren't working, or don't let them think that the products aren't working, because they may not get to 2 or 3 times a day. But as long as they're feeling better, feeling less bloated, and they're going daily, that's a huge win for them. If they're complaining about diarrhea, like, what does that mean to them? Does, diarrhea to one person versus another could mean very different things. So you want to ask, like, does that mean you're going like 2 or 3 times a day? Does that mean it's just like loose and liquidy? Just ask the questions. And again, don't make it awkward, or they're going to feel like, I don't want to tell you this. Just, it's natural. It's part of it. It's helping you direct them and, you know, get them to where they need to be. And then bloating. If someone starts complaining about bloating and they're only on 1 or 2 BioCleanse, it's time to increase them. And it's natural to feel the bloating. That just, again, I know this sounds weird, but you're kind of going to celebrate the bloating, because it means that your ProBio 5 is breaking things down. You just need to increase that BioCleanse to help it move along. And that's what you tell them. Like, it means your probiotic is working. That's awesome. Let's get you feeling better by increasing you, and we'll get you through this. Other tips you can have them do is increasing their water. Half the body weight in ounces is always our goal. If they're already hitting that, tell them to increase it if they can for a few days to help with the bloating. Get moving, go to the gym, go for a walk. I know it's hard when you're not feeling your best, but again, it's going to help the bloating while they're getting through it. ProBio 5, I kind of touched on this, and so did Allie, but it's going to break down the junk, break down the yeast that's been sitting in your gut, and then the BioCleanse helps flush that out of your system. So I've been asked this before, I'm sure most people have, but how is it different than a probiotic that you buy off Amazon or Walmart or wherever? So not only is it going to feed the good bacteria in your gut, but we have the antifungal and digestive enzymes. So that's going to be what breaks down the built up yeast and toxins so that the BioCleanse can flush that out of your system. So that's what I always tell people, like, you're getting more than just a probiotic in the ProBio 5. So that's kind of what I've got on the triplex. The only other thing I'm going to touch base on is the MetaBurn. And so this is another one that, when it comes to asking about medications, if someone says they're on antidepressants or blood pressure medications, I steer away from this. I know it's amazing for weight loss, but I would gear towards balance if that were the case. And then asking about coffee and caffeine. I know somebody asked, like, why do we ask about that? So MetaBurn has caffeine in it. So what I always like to tell people is, if they drink coffee first thing in the morning, you're probably not going to want to take your MetaBurn right there with it too. Space it out 30 to 60 minutes just so you don't get the jittery feeling. If someone does say they get jitteriness, they may be a little more sensitive to caffeine. Just tell them to take it with a little bit of food. Although you can have people go the opposite direction and complain of heartburn with MetaBurn, and that's because of the ingredient grains of paradise. It's a pepper that's in it. And so if they take it on too full of a stomach, it can get caught in the esophagus and cause some heartburn. So I always recommend taking it with water. And then if they're complaining of that, then just have them not take it on such of a stomach as well. The other thing that I do with MetaBurn is I start them on one a day. So you can do two a day, and most people will tolerate that fine. But again, I don't want someone to take two, feel weird or jittery, and then just be like, I'm done with this. Start them with one for 2 or 3 days. If they do okay with that, throw the second one in. If they complain of jitteriness with the second one, you can always space it out. And what I tell people is take one in the morning, take one at lunchtime. But because of the caffeine, I typically don't recommend it past lunchtime, just so they sleep at night too. Um,
What? Who wants to sleep at night?
right? I actually had someone today like, I almost took one tonight. And I was like, no.
Yeah. It's like, oops, or I took my Metaburn instead of my bio cleanse at bed. Well, trying to wake up a few times. Uh, Thanks,
Yeah.
Sam. Yeah.
So that's really all I've got on Metaburn too. But just like Allie and said too, like these are not one size fits all. We've got references, we've got tons of things out there to help guide and stuff, but always use your sponsors too. I mean, we're still learning, obviously, but we've probably seen something or know somebody who's seen or heard something amongst us that we can share a story about too.
And yeah, Sam looped me in and was like, hey, can you help out with so and so? She's irritable, she's going a lot. I want to recommend this, but I really need you to help and verify that. And it did. She got them both switched over. They redeemed perks. So you guys just be confident in what you guys know. Because you know more than you think, and you do not need to know everything. Sam, if you don't mind to drop in that chat message, it's just
Mhm.
if you guys are brand new and you're like, I want to be great, I want to look like, I want to know everything like Brianna, or I really want to be confident like Allie. Guys know like we didn't get this way overnight. We've practiced a lot. We've failed a lot. We just keep the more you do it, the more confident you're going to be. And the 10-minute video is a great place to start. It's this lady, I don't know who she is, but it's 10 minutes and she goes through every product, just a little blurb about each thing. Literally listen to it on your way to work tomorrow. And you're going to be like, wow, I learned something. I learn something all the time. So that's a good place to start. Um, I feel like 15-ish more minutes if you guys can hang out. I have a few more things to go through, but all that Sam was talking about is in this onboarding product dosing document. And this is in Rise Up Village under product dosing. Okay. It's literally everything. What questions to ask? Okay. If they're constipated, regular, or too frequent, what do you start them at? It's not cookie cutter, but it is a good guide. And if you read through it a few times, you're going to see like, oh, that makes sense. Or why are we increasing that? Brooke Hemingway is amazing. And this is her document. So everyone print this out. I literally still have it. You're always going to get someone that's like, I haven't pooped in 3 days. And you're going to be like, well, that was weird. So and so pooped when I made that adjustment. And you just got to remember, like, map the people out in your planner. Okay. The follow up is huge. The second they click join, you're going to be so excited, but you've got to put them in your planner or they're going to slip through the cracks. Okay. I have learned that the hard way. And it's like, holy cow, I never sent that person the video and forgot to get on a phone call. Anyways, so map them out. If you're making an adjustment, you better put their name back in your planner to check back in a couple days. And, once a week, if they're good, is minimum. Okay. But remember, mapping out their success, it's going to take work, but it's so worth it. I personally recommend, just because we're really focusing on attrition this month and retention, and we're getting so many new people, map out 6 weeks. Okay. 4 weeks is great. In 4 weeks, the follow up system again is mapped out in the guides as follow up, like what to ask on week 2, what to ask on week 3. Obviously, don't be a robot, but that helps like what are good questions to ask. 6 weeks, okay, right at week 4. If you don't check back in with them, they're in the heart of detox, or they're getting ready to get their second order, or they are, not if they're just in a sticky spot. So if you map out 6 weeks, they've got their second order, you've made the adjustments, hopefully they're through detox, they're loving their products. If you haven't got them to shout out, by golly, at 6 weeks, hopefully they're loving them. And at that time, you can also be talking about that third month, getting them a perk credit product with what they've earned for the first 2 months. So I would say just, we call it the 4-point check-in. We're going to go ahead and name it the 6 stars or whatever, 6-point check-in. Okay. And then always loop your sponsor in. If you're not sure about your questions, do your check-ins in that sponsor message. Okay. They can be there to help. If they notice you're not asking questions, if you're not sure how to adjust, they can be there to help you. And again, that's how I learned with Heather. That's how Sam learned with me. That's how, all the things go. Never feel like you're bothering the person that helped you get started, even if they seem busy, even if, it's a rank up month, which I know lots of people in here are trying to rank up. Like, we would rather be in a million chats and helping, more hands on deck than to let people fall off. Okay, last few things. Just because I know a lot of people wanted some details about the products, I probably just have a couple little blurbs to say, and these are just things to jot down. Like Sam mentioned, antidepressants and Metaburn, I've definitely had people on them, but just know that it's a possibility that it can cause like increased serotonin production and make them feel worse. So if that happens, I think that happened to our sweet Kelly. Don't take Metaburn. And if they are on it and they've been on it, then they're probably fine. They would know at the beginning if they're going to feel worse when they start it. And then one other question, I think Amber asked, why do we ask about caffeine? So Slim doesn't have caffeine in it, but if someone is used to drinking their coffee in the morning, they're going to hate you if you take it away and tell them to drink a pink drink. So you're going to say, you're probably not going to need that coffee because your energy is going to be better when your blood sugar is controlled after a few weeks. But why don't you try skipping your coffee for your pink drink, or you can take your pink drink between, breakfast and lunch after you drink your coffee on the way into work. Just like getting it into their day, into their schedule, customizing it to fit them shows that you care. And of course, and it helps them, find results, because we want it to fit and not feel like a chore. Morning and night when you brush your teeth, that's how you have success on plexus. If you're worried about it, tell me you forgot to brush your teeth. Okay. Stomach medications, Ease is amazing for heartburn. Okay. It relieves heartburn. If someone's taking like Zantac or Tums or Protonix, those are all omeprazole, Prilosec, those are all stomach medications. Doesn't mean they're going to get off of them the day they start plexus, but remind them, like, why don't we stop that? Because these things that you're taking, it's going to help get that yeast out, and you probably don't need that Band-Aid anymore. Ease is also great for detox. That's why I say complete that triplex with the 4th product, Ease, because it's going to calm down that detox, that bloating, that bathroom irritability, the puffiness that they may gain when they start to detox. It helps with puffiness. It helps with allergies. So 'tis the allergy season. Ease is huge. It's also really helpful for thyroid issues because of the inflammation underlying that. The X Factor Plus. Okay. So plus means plus aloe. There's 2 X Factors. X Factor Plus is great for thyroid health. You do not have to know all the ingredients in it, but if someone has thyroid issues, selenium, zinc, and the B vitamins that are in the X Factor, as well as the thiamine, all are so great for thyroid health. And again, you don't need to give them a 10-minute dissertation on what X Factor does, but you're going to say this is a natural vitamin, plant-based. It's actually green because of the plant in it, and your body's going to absorb those so much better so that you can actually use them and you can feel and see the difference. It also has folate instead of folic acid, so it's great for pregnant women as well. The balance versus block. If anyone's like, I don't know, they are both carb blockers. They block up to 48% of carbs. But balance, I believe, is superior to block. It's newer, it's been reformulated, and it helps with furthering blood sugar balance and control. So yes, it helps with diabetics. If someone's diabetic, they need to be on balance. If someone wants to lose weight, it's going to help because it's going to further stabilize that insulin regulation, and it's going to help with curbing the carbs that they're eating. So 20 to 30 minutes, ideally before a meal. If you have someone that loves wine, you better tell this lady about balance because she's going to love it, right? Before you drink wine, you want to take balance. And It's also great if you have some random person that doesn't like the Slim, okay? Because guess what? It helps balance blood sugar just like that Slim does. It's not going to taste good. It's not going to help with their bloating, but it is going to help balance their blood sugar, which is, again, the main reason that we want everyone on Slim. So it's helpful for that. But again, block, some people will just go rogue on you and just order block. And you're like, we didn't talk about that. Why'd you just order that? Still's fine. You can use block. Block is more indicated for as needed, whereas balance technically is designed to take daily. I personally think they're interchangeable, but I think if you were to read in the back office, that would say balance daily, block as needed. Another benefit of Metaburn is Metaburn also supports thyroid and adrenal health. So basically, your adrenal glands help with fatigue and are huge in hormone balance as well, and also help you adapt to stress. So people that have adrenal insufficiency, I actually had someone be like, Allie, what the heck is this? Just type adrenal and you're going to know that Metaburn is going to help with that fatigue because it's going to actually support those glands that are causing them to feel that way. So I mean, there's a video that I actually posted in the product portal that I was telling you about at the beginning that has, thyroid health and Metaburn. Like if you have someone that's just not sure about it, that just is, that validation to help them learn. And it's not a magic pill. Metaburn helps your body burn fat more efficiently when used along with diet and exercise, and it also helps your mood and focus, which is, a lot of people love the mood benefit. Mega X, a lot of people here are probably like, I've never recommended that. It's not in many welcome packs, but Mega X is an omega supplement. And yes, Brianna loves it. It is great for heart health and brain health. And it also is a natural sleep aid. So if you have people that are on sleeping medications, it's not like Ambien, but it is natural. It helps relax the body. It helps with it's also good for like pregnant women, like the DHA that you're supposed to get when you're pregnant or when you're, that is a great thing for Mega X. And Miss Brianna uses it for her daughter, which she'll pop in here in just a sec. And then the last thing, I think I had most of it here. I just really want you guys to remember, like triplex is great, but it's not the solve all fix all. I want you guys to always recommend either the X Factor or the Ease with the triplex because it's going to get them through detox. It's less just, if I could tell you the amount of people that I lost in my first year because everyone got triplex, I wish I could go back to all those people. So still really great products. That's why it's the core of all of the large packs. Remember, like if you default to triplex, start big, go big or go home. You can always scale down. It's so much harder to build on products if you don't start there. And if someone has kidney disease, or, if they say, I have kidney stones, that's not kidney disease. If they say, I have, chronic kidney disease. Again, if you aren't a medical professional, you're probably like, that freaks me out. They should not be drinking Slim because it has chromium in it, and chromium with not healthy kidneys can actually worsen their kidney failure. So if you're ever like, okay, I need help with this, I don't care if you're on my team or not, you can loop me in and I can help you with these people, because sometimes you're going to get people that have 99 things and you're wondering like, what the heck isn't wrong with you, right? Yes, we want to solve other issues, but we also want to make sure that, we're not just sticking them on a bunch of stuff that you're not sure about as far as their medications go. And one last thing, yes, I'm basically a doctor, but never will I ever tell someone that I am their doctor, and I don't want them to be doing what I say without talking to their doctor unless they're comfortable with it. So anyways, Plexus doesn't prevent, cure, or treat diseases. It does promote wellness and it helps your body be more balanced. So whether you have this much medical background or zero, or like me, again, I always want to say that like you can loop me in, but I'm still going to tell someone a disclaimer, and I'm not going to tell everyone that I talk to that I'm even a nurse practitioner, just because I don't want them to think that what I say is God's word. So, anyways, Brianna, real quick, we're gonna wrap it up. If you can share a little bit about how you and your team have been implementing the Gut Health Advanced Pack.
Absolutely. So before I even recommend this pack, I'm asking the questions of, will they drink 2 pink drinks a day? Because there's 2 bags of pink drink in there. And so if people are focused on, say, gut health and weight loss, then I can tell them to get 1 bag of hunger control, 1 bag of MA Slim. They're getting best of both worlds, and they can have 2 pink drinks a day. Plus it comes with the Vital Biome, the Triplex, and I think the X Factor Plus. So they're getting the overall like gut health, the mood support. I feel like people see energy from X Factor Plus, and then they're getting the Hunger Control Slim as well, so they can have a little bit of that appetite control. But that is one of the first questions I will ask before I even recommend that pack. And the question I asked the lady today who really wanted it, I said, in your schedule, can you make time or can you squeeze in 2 pink drinks? Can you do 1 in the morning sometime and then 1 in the afternoon? And she said yes. So I feel like that is something to ask, because we all have those people who are like, I forgot it on the counter again. Like, haven't drank it in like 3 days. I'm like, how have you not drank that in 3 days? Like, how have you done that? How are you breathing? But it's like just asking those questions again. And because that pack has a lot of capsules, I also ask them if they're okay with that. Just like with the variety pack, I ask them, are you okay with taking several pills a day? Because some people are like, like, I'm not going to take all of that. So, and I feel like people aren't going to own up to that. It's kind of something that you have to ask and open up and ask them, because they're not going to be like a whiny baby and be like, oh, I can't swallow pills that well, so I'm not going to take 4 at bedtime. You know, you have to ask, like, is taking a few capsules in the morning and at bedtime okay with you? But that's how we do the gut health pack.
There's options set up for after.
Well, I just started recommending it this month. So what I tell people always, it does not matter what pack they start with. I always tell them I'm in contact with you at least once a week this beginning month. And we will decide before your next subscription comes out what we're going to reorder. We always choose Slim and 2 supplements. And I tell them, if MetaBurn's not working for you, then we will switch you to a bag of Active. If you don't like the protein shakes, you know, we can try a different flavor. We can try the MetaBurn. Like, I always am putting into their head other products in the sign up process. So when we get to that subscription page, I'm like, just leave it as it is right now. We can edit it before it ships. So I put a reminder in my phone and I have them put a reminder in their phone. I'm like, on the 18th of every month, your subscription is going to process. So it has to be changed on the 17th, or by the 17th. And so when they get a bigger pack like that, I'm like, what's your favorites? What are you consistently taking every single day? And majority of the time, it's going to be, of course, Slim. A lot of people, it's MetaBurn, you know, those simple things that they can take every single day. But that's what I'm always asking. And then that's how I edit their subscription. And I always tell them to shop the combos first, of course, because not only are they 100 PV, but they're cheaper. I don't know if you guys have paid attention to that. So I always tell them that, and that makes them want a combo. So, I mean, I have people who only want drinks, and I'm like, that's great. You're going to get Slim and 2 bags of Active. So,
And it, again, their systems, they're predetermined, they're customized because they work together and they complement the others. So
right.
if you're just shopping a la carte, you're not going to get the benefit of those products because they might not be working together well.
Right.
So again, shop the combos. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So I'm always talking those add-on products and always planting seeds about additional products, always. And like, even during any conversation, you know, you can bring up additional products, especially if they're not liking something in their first welcome pack. Then you make that suggestion, like, okay, then this month I feel like we should switch this out for this. You're the expert. They don't know any different, but you to them know it all. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to show up in that bold, confident way, and they're going to listen to you. And I always tell my girls, no matter what you think, people like to be told what to do. Like we do. I want to be told what to do. I don't want to have to figure it out on my own. Like, just give me straight up what I need to do. And so I feel like when people,
Results, right?
you know, yeah. So
we haven't successfully helped our friends until we get them a result. We obviously are telling them it's not a quick fix. I need you to stick with me for at least 90 days. If they're wishy-washy, you're putting them on preferred customer. That's another thing we really want to kind of tackle at the beginning. Yes, we have these $1 memberships and $10 memberships, but if they're not confident that they're sticking with it, and again, some people, again, come out of nowhere in 30 days and say they're stopping, but if you're just an ounce of like, oh, I'm not really sure you're going to do it, then you just celebrate that 15% off and you get them so excited. And then in a month, if they're loving it still, that's when you come back and you say, guess what? There's a way to get something cheaper. Let's switch you. So just, those are things that if you're still like not confident, not sure, you need reinforcement, loop your friend in any, until you feel confident in that area. And we can be there to help you and tweak things and just be there for reassurance if that's all that you need, because you guys got this. This isn't hard. This isn't rocket science. There's a process. You follow it as closely as you can. Helps the conversation flow. And again, the more you recommend, the more you listen, and the more videos you watch, more resourceful that you are, the better you're going to learn how to recommend these. One other question, because I promise we're done, because I think someone had a question about the about the blood pressure medications. So it's not completely off limits, but with blood pressure, caffeine can raise blood pressure, right? So if someone has like a history of heart attacks, or they have stents, or have AFib, no, we don't want them on Metaburn. But if they drink coffee or Diet Coke all day long and they have blood pressure, it's not going to be any different than putting them on Metaburn. There is no stimulants in Metaburn. There is stimulants in Accelerator, and I'm glad to hear that they're getting rid of Accelerator. Blood pressure medications, just be cautious of the Metaburn and start them on 1 instead of 2. It may not be the first place I go, but it's not completely like contraindicated, or like it's not going to harm them. Just be aware of that. I think that might be it. We could obviously talk all day. We have lots of
I'm
tips.
gonna add something really quick before we wrap it up. Just one last thing. And I'm sorry I missed the beginning of this. I was on another Zoom.
Okay.
The perks. I always recommend trying a new product. I don't know if you guys covered that or not, but I don't recommend them getting their favorite stuff. Like, try something different with their perks. And like I tell people all the time, like, I save mine up and I get collagen. Amen. That's what I buy with my perks. Is the expensive collagen, honey. Save the perks.
The last little thing, go to the guides. If it's not tonight, another night, or put it in your to-do list. But this is a really awesome reference that says, I started with the triplex, or I started with the Slim Active Ease, and I'm not losing weight on the triplex. Here's what you recommend next. Or here's a guide for you to say, well, you know what? That probably wasn't the best fit. Let's switch to this month. Or, I got the healthy weight, but I hate shakes and the Metaburn isn't working with me. Let's switch you to the Gut Health Advanced Pack. And this is why. Like, again, this is a queen from Brooke Hemingway. Really helps you. Even just reading over it, I learned 3 new things today from looking at it in depth, to have in your product funnel or arsenal of information, just to help you. And you can screenshot it to your phone to get organized. Put it all in a graphics folder. All my Plexus welcome packs, all my quick, easy things, my product, pricing list is all in a folder in your albums of your phone, so you can see it on the go. And Tanya, this is actually, I uploaded under guide 5, under Rise Up Village, under the product portal. It's under there as a graphic. I think I might have I don't know, a recommendation list maybe. Again, this call hopefully was not overwhelming. I hope you guys take away like 3 new things. You do not have to know everything, but you being here is huge because you guys want to learn. And this shows that you're here at 10 o'clock on a Thursday night. So thank you guys for being here. Any questions? Never, I mean, use your sponsor. We're happy to help in any way, shape, or form. I don't know if I got any other questions that we missed here. Serotonin. Amber, I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. But you can direct message me. Serotonin is your happy hormone, but the 5-HTP that is in the Metaburn that gives you energy or helps with mood can also increase serotonin. And so if you use a SSRI medication like Paxil, Prozac, Zoloft, Lexapro, all of those, taking the Metaburn in the morning with an SSRI can increase that. So that's why we try to avoid or caution the Metaburn with antidepressant medications or anti-anxiety medications. Can't remember if it was already said. The Slims, so the microbiome activating Slim, the kind of prebiotic that's in it can potentially like increase a flare of an autoimmune disease. So anyone with autoimmune issues, we would recommend hunger control instead of the microbiome for them. We could, Allison, if you're still on here, if she's on here anymore. No, she's off. Hey girl, oh, there she is. Also adjusting for frequency issues after they start the triplex. Again, I think that's just a matter of, what they started out as and how quickly you increased them. Sometimes if they're all of a sudden, I was once a day, now I'm 5 times a day, just back off on the cleanse. If they're still going a lot, then you want to make sure that they're on the 2 ProBio, just because the ProBio 5 has the bulking agent in the probiotic that can help with that too. But again, it's not cookie cutter. Sometimes it's hard. You always want to be having, 2 hands on deck with adjustments if they have needed 4 in the first month, which sometimes that happens. But I think that this was so fun. I love that you guys all got on tonight. Again, any questions, don't hesitate to speak up. Utilize the guides. They are there for a reason. Don't try to soak it all in one day though. There's tons, I just uploaded tons of videos. Saving all those videos, they're literally like save them to the notes in your phone, videos about products. So you have them. Saving like the 3 videos I always send: microbiome video, triplex video, the healthy weight, or like the weight management video. Those are the 3 that I'm opening up conversations with. They're saved in my phone. I can find them in my sleep.
Allie, do we have the detox video on Rise Up Village?
I did add the detox video. It's under the detox section.
Anyone started on triplex should be sent the detox video.
Yes. The lull between the LUL. You sign someone up, you should not be waiting 5 to 7 days to contact them again. We do not want to sign them up, ask them for a shout out, send them a detox video, send them their password, tell them about perks. We don't want to do all this in one day. Trust me, I've done that before. You want to breadcrumb them. In that 5-day period, that's when you're sharing all that stuff. They're so excited. They can't wait. You've maybe asked for a shout out. Maybe they've posted, girl, I'm going to give you this. It's going to be the getting started video. What stands out to you? That's in there too. Oh my gosh, you know what? I just wanted to tell you, remember that detox stuff I told you about? Don't worry. It's so good for your body. I'm just going to shoot this short video over that explains a little bit about what you might experience, just so you're aware of what your body's going to go through on all the hard work it's about to do. Then you share the video. And then they get their products and you get on the phone, right? Or you might have shared the pretty graphic, but you always need to follow up and customize that graphic, because if you look closely at them, yeah, they're pretty, but they have a lot of information. And again, we want to know everyone's bathroom habits and what they start their day and how they start their day. That's why you get on the phone and build that connection from day one when they get started. All right, y'all. It's been fun. Happy Friday tomorrow. Everyone get some rest. Brianna, are you still on here? How do I save this recording so that it doesn't go anywhere?
When you can hit stop recording.
Uh-huh.